Katie. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a personal Q&A. You guys know that I like to do Q&As about once a month, and a lot of the recent ones have been more fun, silly questions, but I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me more like personal, serious questions, a little bit more like if you want to know some secrets about me or some stuff that maybe I've never told before or haven't gone into detail about or I just haven't talked about in a while. We're going to be spilling some tea. Do people still say that? Am I too old to say that? Probably. I don't think I've ever said that in my life, but I might be revealing a couple secrets in this video, maybe mixed in with a couple more lighthearted questions, and I hope that you guys are excited. And so I hope that you're subscribed to my channel and follow me on Instagram as well if you want to participate in any future Q&As. I do them again about like once a month. And so today, let's check these questions. Oh, and PS, I love sharing with you guys and being vulnerable with you guys, but there are just always going to be a couple questions that I get asked that I'm going to keep private. So if you asked a question and you're like, oh, Katie didn't answer that, or why hasn't Katie talked about this? It's just because I'm still a human and there are just some things that I'd rather keep like private and personal to me. Yeah, but we're still gonna answer some juicy questions today. So I hope you have your coffee ready, maybe a snack, maybe a drink, and let's just get into this. Okay, Janu asked, why did you stop living in your car? All right, let's get into this. Okay, so I'm sure I've talked about this a long time ago, but I'll get a little like deeper in this video at least. So a lot of you guys know I used to live in my car. I lived in it part-time, kind of on and off, and then I lived in it for about 3 years full-time from like the age of like 30 to 33. So I stopped about a year and a half ago. I'm gonna be 35 this summer. Anyway, so I loved living in my car. I loved waking up in my car. I loved waking up with the sun. I loved the freedom that that brought me. I really, really, really loved it. But I am such a proponent of like checking in with yourself and seeing, you know, am I still doing this because I've always done it, or am I still doing this because I love it? Whether it's a hobby, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a job, you know, like, do I still love this, or am I just used to it? And so I wanted to kind of check in with myself again after part-time traveling and living in the car for like 4 years or something, and then full-time traveling and living in the car for about 3 years. I wanted to kind of check in with myself to make sure that it was something that I still really wanted to be doing. And the way that I decided to do that was get an apartment. And I got an apartment in Charleston, and I was there for 7 months. After about 5 months, I was ready to get back on the road. But that was early last year. And with everything that was going on early 2020, I didn't know what I wanted to be doing. I was a little nervous to get back on the road. I was a little, I didn't feel at peace with getting back on the road, just with everything going on and how much uncertainty there was in this country. And so I ended up moving in with one of my best friends in Nashville last June, I think it was. Let me just get into some of the next questions, because that's kind of the basis of that question, but I got asked a lot if I'm getting back on the road, when I'm getting back on the road. Really, like last spring, I was ready to get back on the road, but now I've been in an apartment total for about a year and a half, which is wild to me that I have not slept in my car in a year and a half, that I've, you know, traveled the tiniest bit, but not really in the last year and a half. Because you guys know, like most of my adult life, I've been traveling. And so honestly, moving to Nashville, moving to Charleston too, but then moving to Nashville added a lot to my depression, like a lot. With everything going on, with the confusion of the world, my mental health like plummeted. And I made a mental health update a couple weeks ago where some things in my life have gotten a little better and I have gotten more clarity and I have been praying more. But there's a lot in my life that's gotten harder and more painful. And my depression has been horrific. And it's getting to the point now where so many people ask me when I'm getting back on the road, because I really enjoyed doing it. And even after my little experiment of living in an apartment, I decided that I wanted to get back on the road. But now that it's been an extra year after that, I don't know. And I was telling, this is a part that I don't think I've told you guys. Maybe I have, but I don't know. But I was telling one of my friends the other day, like, I can't tell if my hesitancy now is because of my depression, where I'm not really enjoying a lot of things, where I'm not really wanting to do things as much. I can't tell if it's that, or if it is just that I don't really want to do it anymore. That, you know, my life maybe is just going in a different direction. I can't tell. I can't tell if it's that I just don't want to because things change, or because my depression is trying to like keep me away from things that I do enjoy. I literally cannot tell. And I feel like some of you guys with really severe depression might understand that like confusion of like, well, wait, do I not like that? Or is my depression telling me that I don't like it? And so again, as much as I love to be honest and open and vulnerable with you guys, like I don't really think that I could verbally explain how bad my depression has been. And so maybe it would be good if I push myself to go on the road, because there is a decent chance that it's my depression telling me not to go do it. And even saying it out loud, it's kind of like, yeah, so maybe it would be a really good idea to go travel for a couple weeks and see. All right, we can move on to other questions. They'll probably be shorter answers. Sarah asked, I've answered this before, but since it's a personal Q&A, just in case you haven't seen the other ones, I'll answer it now. Sarah asked, do you want kids? Nope, never have. I never have. I know that some people, it's like in their gut of like, yes, I really want kids. I've never had that. So no, I don't want kids. Oh, okay. So Katie, nice name. Katie asked, how did you handle your parents' separation? Was it traumatic for you? My parents split up when I was a baby, so I don't even remember it. So I wouldn't say that it was traumatic for me. Like my oldest memories are that my parents were already divorced. And so that's just kind of been my norm. So like I saw my dad every single Sunday, lived with my mom on Long Island. My dad lived in Connecticut most of my upbringing, and he would come every weekend to see us. And so I don't think it was traumatic because it happened when I was so young that it was like before I had any memories. And I have good relationships with both of my parents. So I actually think the timing of that was not traumatic for me, no. Heidi asked, and this is interesting, and I'm sure I've talked about it, but I don't know how much in depth. Heidi asked, what age did you get your driver's license? What's your first vehicle? So most of you guys know that the car that I have, my little Yaris, that's this big, is the only car I've ever owned. I bought it when I was 23. Before that, I just shared cars like with my mom and my brother. But the part that might be a little surprising to you guys, knowing how much I've traveled, driven around the country, lived in a car, I did not want to drive when I was young at all. I think I maybe got my permit when I was like, I don't remember the exact dates, but it was late. I think maybe I got my permit at 17. Maybe I got my license at like 18 or 19. Like I did not drive in high school. I did not have a car in high school. Like I did not do that. In college, again, I didn't have a car till I was 23, but I don't think I like actively drove until I was maybe 20. I think I probably got my license at like 18, 19, but I don't think I like really started actually driving until maybe I was 20, maybe. I was just afraid of it. I don't know why. I was just afraid of driving when I was young, which is so crazy to think of now. But that goes to the whole idea of like, you never know what in your life is gonna change, because now like I love driving. But yo, I was afraid of it. I was legit afraid of driving when I was young and didn't start driving until I was a little older. Misty asked, this is a good question. You don't mention your brothers other than Teddy and their significant others, their kids, why? She basically asking like, why don't I mention the rest of my family? A lot of you guys have seen my mom. My mom hasn't been on this channel in a while, but she has been in several videos. My dad's been in a few videos, and Teddy's been in a couple of videos. My two younger brothers have also been in a video each years ago, but my other brothers and their wives and their kids, they are just either people that I don't see very often, and or they are private. And so, you know, I'm only going to show my family and my friends if they want to be on it. You know, like Teddy loves being on camera, so that's why he's on it. My parents love being on camera. And so they feel comfortable being on camera, but a couple of my other brothers and their families either don't feel comfortable being on camera, they don't want their lives being public, or I just don't really see them very often, and I don't really talk to them very much because I do have 6 brothers, which a lot of you guys know, but they live all over the country, and yeah, so it's either they want to stay private or I just really don't see them, and I'm just not gonna like share someone else's life without their permission. So even my younger brothers who have been in, I think 1 video each years ago, like I don't talk about them on here because it's not my business to share about them unless, you know, they asked me or they wanted to be in a video. I hope that makes sense. And it's the same with friends too. Okay, Misty also asked, what makes you hesitant to share your diagnosis? So a lot of you guys know I've had mental health struggles since I was 19. And I have shared that I have PTSD. I have shared that I have OCD. And I've shared a couple of my symptoms of my other diagnoses where I have, you know, depressive episodes, and I have negative thoughts and a lot of overwhelm and stuff like that. I do have 2 other diagnoses that I don't think I will ever share, just because I think it's okay to have certain things private. And I've gotten a lot of messages over the years kind of saying like, well, you should share your diagnosis because it might help other people. I get that. I understand that. But that does not mean that I'm comfortable doing it. If I really feel that God wants me to, then that's something that I would like figure out. But I haven't really felt super led to do it. And then also I haven't felt comfortable doing it. I think that's a really big deal, sharing my diagnoses. I think it's a really, really big deal. And this is a super public platform. I don't know who's gonna ever see these videos, you know? And I know that a lot of you guys, we kind of see each other like as friends, right? Like I feel like I'm talking to you guys as I'm talking to my friends, but this is still a public place where I don't control who watches it. So what I do control is what I say. And so something like certain diagnoses that I have, or certain private things that go on in my life, are things that I'm just not comfortable saying or sharing publicly. And I haven't felt like God is telling me to either. So yeah, my diagnoses are just, except for, again, the PTSD, which I talked about, and the OCD that I've talked about, and some of my symptoms, which I'm very comfortable sharing solely because I want to connect and because I know that it could help. My other diagnoses that I have, I'm just not comfortable sharing. I've kind of thought about it over the years if I, you know, I might one day, but I've basically come to the conclusion that I'm not going to share them. I don't want it to be like Katie's keeping secrets. I don't want it to be any of that. I just hope that you guys can understand that this is a very public platform. And as much as I love sharing with you guys, I think it's important for me and my mental health and my like well-being to just keep certain things private, just like you might keep some things private from your friends or from your employer. And it's not that you're keeping a secret, it's just that we don't share every aspect of our life with everyone that we know. You know, I love being open with you guys, but there are just a couple things that I would prefer to keep more private between me and the people that I know personally. So I hope that makes sense. I know that I'm sure a couple of you guys are gonna think that's selfish or something, but I just also hope that you understand that I'm still a person on the other side of the screen. And just understand the idea that, you know, there just might be things that in your life, it's not that you're embarrassed or scared or anything, but that you just would prefer to keep to yourself and to the people close to you, you know? Mallory asked if I was dating anyone. Nope. I am as single as could be. If you know anyone, a good Christian boy. I'm not kidding. Let me know. I don't care where he lives. Just a good Christian boy. Please let me know. Because I'm not good at choosing people to date for myself. I don't talk about dating a lot on here. I never have. I've talked about it a couple times. But I am not good at choosing men. Just not. So if you know anyone, a good Christian boy who does not mind dating a girl who's almost 35 and works on the internet and likes living in a car, I'm not kidding. DM me. Go DM me. Let me know, because I am not a good matchmaker for myself. Speaking of, Glenn asked, would you date someone much older or younger than you? Example, like a 15-year age difference. Yeah, not 15 years younger, because then he'd be 19. No, but 15 years older? Yeah, I actually did date someone 15 years older than me once. And we dated, I was in my mid-20s. He was, oh, no, I'm lying. He wasn't 15 years. He was 11. He was 11 years, I think, older than I am. He was 11 years older, and his daughter was 11 years younger than I was. So I was right in the middle. They were very cool people. This was like 10 years ago. They were very, very cool. But it was very interesting. It was very interesting to be like right in the middle of like the guy I was dating and his daughter's age. But yeah, I would. Age to me does not really matter. Especially once you hit kind of like your late 20s. I feel like age becomes less of an important thing to me, at least. So like, you know, one of the recent people that I dated was 29 and I'm 34. But then, you know, also someone that I recently dated was 37. And so age to me, I don't care as much about as I care about, you know, maturity and how they act and if they love Jesus and stuff like that. So after a certain age, I would say like mid-late 20s, it to me matters a little bit less. So yeah, I would date someone 15 years older than me. He'd be 49. Yeah, that'd be totally fine. Let me just do one more quickly. And then I probably will do a second one of these videos because you guys asked a lot of really good questions. Alexa asked, new career. Nope, still doing YouTube as my main job. I know I've been slacking the last year, slacking a little bit, but especially the last month or so because of my depression. I am getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, but no, YouTube and, you know, some of the little side things that I do through YouTube are my main job. I can get into that a little bit more in like a YouTube explanation video of kind of what it takes to be a YouTuber if you're interested in that kind of thing. But yeah, YouTube is my job. All right, I guess that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, you know, getting to know me a little bit better, being a little bit more personal in this video. And I hope that you are subscribed because I will probably do a part 2 in the next week or so. So yeah, thanks again for watching and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.